It's the Pack and the Vikes. Leroy Butler knows what's important.
Chris Berman is doing this little thing at 6 o'clock. If you want to be the guy he talks about, you got to do something in this game.
Leroy, we've got all the games. The Bucs battle the winless Broncos, while the 0-2 Jets face a revamped Redskins squad, and the 2-0 Lions leap to Arrowhead. The old Browns face the new Browns. Tennessee looks for a titanic upset over the Jags. Can Doug be Magic Flutie again? Prime time is next. Welcome to week 3 of NFL Primetime. I'm Chris Berman, along with my usual sidekick, Tom Jackson. And sidekick, how about kick upside down? Super Bowl teams, tough spots on the road. Would it get any better?
Changing of the guard. I think now, 3 weeks into the season, we can really see that this one's going to be the most unusual one we've had for years.
I think in a long, long time. We've seen that from week 1. And speaking of changing of the guard, the old Browns at the new Browns to the big crab cake. That's where we begin. The one-time Cleveland Browns and now the Baltimore Ravens. But the new Browns are led by Tim Couch. The old Browns, Art Modell. I don't think he'll be going to that game in Cleveland on November the 7th, time we can use the seats. Tim Couch back to pass. Ray Lewis, by the way, he's good. Loss of 9 yards after Browns penalty, second and 24. The dump to Terry Kirby. And it's Lewis again, who's always Johnny on the spot, Tom.
Yeah, Lewis always on the football from sideline to sideline. You take a look at this play here. Watch Tim Couch. Watch the blocking that he really doesn't get. The guard and the tackle should be fanning out. Got Peter Bulware coming on the outside. Lomas Brown doesn't get the quick outside step. Results in a fumble right there by Couch down around his own goal line.
I tell you, the umpire was really moving on that play, wouldn't he? He looked like Dick Butkus coming in the middle. Stoney Case rolled it. It's the bootleg, the 1-yard touchdown. Case making only his second start in 5 years. Tim Couch watches his Case is on the case, and he is not. Scott Mitchell, don't know that we're going to see him in a while for the Baltimore Ravens. He's been relegated to the number 3 quarterback. Stoney Case, this is very Jeff Blake-like. Out of the screen to Condre Ismail, down to the 20. Should he have caught it?
Yeah, you watch Ishmael here give a little push on the defender. You're never going to get that call as a defender. In fact, they called it on the defender, and he got the catch.
Well, a glimpse of the future, Tom. Look at Tim Couch to Kevin Johnson. That's a beautiful, beautiful play. You see glimpses for sure. It's 17-10 Ravens in the fourth quarter. Couch for Johnson again, but Chris McAllister jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge. Ravens hang on for their first win under Brian Billick. For the Browns, they're getting closer. They're within a touchdown. Baltimore wins at those 17-10, the rematch in Cleveland, November 7th. Case 12 of 25 was picked off 3 times, but a good game running for Eric Redd.
Yeah, Eric Redd is second 100-yard game this season, back-to-back 100-yard game, so giving them some support, giving the quarterback some support with the running game.
Case 1 start, 1 win, and that's really all you need. The Denver Broncos went into Tampa Bay. Could the champs not go 0-3, and could the NFC champs, Atlanta, not go 0-3? St. Louis has serious ideas.
You know, Kenny and I never...
Carolina Panthers at home against the Cincinnati Bengals. Tim Biakabatuka, the Zairian Zip. First play from scrimmage for Carolina. Outruns Artrell Hawkins, 62 yards. He must have thought this was Ohio State, Tom.
And that's what Bill Polian drafted him for, that speed and size combination.
Doug Batson, the Pelfrey, was 1 for 4 kicking field goals. Actually, Cincinnati moved the ball. They had the advantage in time for possession, but it was Carolina making the plays like this one. Tipped by Myron Bell. Mushin Muhammad catches it. He's crushed. He ended up being okay at 13-0. Pelfrey usually pretty good, but doink. You get a feeling that this season's going to be like others for the Bengals, Tom. You just have that feeling. It's 13-3. And look at Biakabatuka. Once every 4 years, he has games like this. Of course, he's been injured. He makes the move, and he could go all the way. 67 yards, 8 carries for 132. Now, the 2 touchdowns were 129. That meant the other 6 carries, he gained 3 yards, Tom. But 27-3, Carolina Panthers over the Bengals, despite the fact the Bengals had the ball for 37 minutes.
Well, the Bengals just get bad breaks down around the goal line. The great catch you saw there by Musa Muhammad off the deflection. You know, you get that feeling things just not going the Bengals' way.
And Kajana Carter out probably for the year again. Hey, the St. Louis Rams, the best rested team in pro football. bye last week. They had a bye in the preseason, but look at Kurt Warner to Torrey Holt. This team has big-time offensive weapons, especially when you give guys like Warner this much time.
Boom, take a look at the pocket. You got 4 guys there with nobody to block. They all attack the guy on the left, but you also got nobody behind the defense to protect for the pass. So bad defense on both ends of that play.
This is not the Falcon team we saw last year. I said a Todd Light, not a Bud Light. Todd Light makes the pick, returns it 18 yards to the 47 of Atlanta, and St. Louis capitalizes. First play after the pick. I love that they're going deep, Tom. To Isaac Bruce, the Reverend. Toasts Ray Buchanan from
Louisville.
21-0 Rams. Warner to Marshall Faulk, and look at the moves, Tom. He can do running and receiving. 28-0 Rams. Chandler re-injures his hamstring. Had to leave the game. Graziani, the majority of passes in this one. Kurt Warner, 17 of 25 for 275. St. Louis has weapons as Faulk ran for 100 yards and caught 5 more balls for 67. Skilled players can push the envelope.
Well, the Rams doing to the Falcons what they did to everybody else last year. Running the ball with Marshall Faulk allows you to play action pass. And then when you look over at the Falcons side of the football, now with the loss of Jamal Anderson, they're going to struggle with the running game. That translates into pressure on the quarterback. We know that Chris Chandler, or whoever plays quarterback, but if it's Chris Chandler, fragile body type. So the more he gets hit, the more you're going to see him in that position we saw him at the end of that highlight on the sideline.
So the Atlanta Falcons, 14-2 a year ago, are now 0-3. And the St. Louis Rams, first place in the NFC West. They racked up another 442 yards on the day. And Kurt Warner, Tom, who in 3 years with the Iowa Barnstormers of the Arena Football League, threw 183 touchdown passes and over 10,000 yards. This year, 2 for 2 in games, 6 TDs, 2 picks. What a difference a year makes in St. Louis.
Inside the Numbers is brought to you by Visa, the official card of the NFL. Log on to ESPN.com for more Inside the Numbers.
When we return, the Chiefs at home. They're tough at Arrowhead, as the Lions found out. Cordell Stewart in the Steelers' home opener. Would it be festive? Detroit Lions at 2-0 into Arrowhead to face the Chiefs. Bobby Ross, hey, he knows the Lions franchise hasn't started 3-0 since 1980. Monty Clark. But look at Marcus Patton flying and sacking Charlie Batch. 3 sacks in the first half for the Chiefs. Chiefs ball, first down, first quarter. Elvis. Lonely baby. Complete to Derek Alexander. Breaks tackles down to the Lions' 18-yard line. 37-yard gain. 3 plays later on a third down. Gerback to Tony Gonzalez. Not good tackling by the Lions. Touchdown Chiefs, 7-0 Kansas City. Same score, second quarter. Look at this run by Ron Rivers. Bounces off 1, 2, 3, 4. He's not down yet. 5, 6. Ron Rivers is like the Mississippi Rivers on this play, Tom.
A great job of Rivers keeping his legs driving and great balance. You watch him there, he's built very low to the ground, and right there should have been down. You saw him leaning on a defender, stayed up for another 10 yards.
This run sends upfield running by Cedric Urban. Sets this up 16 yards, tied at 7. Third quarter with the score 17-7 Chiefs. Gerback to Joe Little Bighorn. 25-yard touchdown, and the Chiefs now pulling up to a 24-7 lead. Pressure on Batch. Hit by Ty Parton. Chris Dishman, the veteran. 38th career interception. 4 sacks, 2 INTs, 2 batted balls at the line of scrimmage. Good defense by the Chiefs. And the Lions lose for the first time this year, 31-21 Kansas City. Remember, they lose Anders last week, but then Al Bennett ran for 73 yards. Gerback, 20 of 29. Elsewhere in the AFC West, Seattle coming into Pittsburgh. Bill Cowher won 2 on the road in the division. Mike Holmgren is 1-1 coming in. 2 guys, members of the class of 92, been to 3 Super Bowls. They've been to 12 out of 14 years they've been in the playoffs. Look at the play by Merton Hanks. Ex-Niner, now Seahawk. He necks it into the end zone. 7-0 Seahawks. Punt on the next series. We're just 2 minutes in the game. Rookie Charlie Rogers makes the move on Josh Miller. Could go all the way. There have been 2 series. Seattle's offense has not been on the field, but they lead it 14-0. Seattle, who had 13 return touchdowns last year, is at it again. Stewart picked off by Jay Bellamy. Third pick of the half for the Seattle defense.
Yeah, you're going to see the pressure here brought from the left side of your screen by Sam Adams and Michael Sinclair. You see Cordell scan the field. Look at the receiver that's deeper on the left side. He stops in the middle of the pattern, and you see the ball thrown right to Jay Bellamy.
So just seconds left in the first half on 3rd and 7, Tom. John Kitna didn't play last week, bad toe. Deshaun Dawkins out at the 8, setting up 4th field goal of the half for Todd Peterson. 26-0 Seattle at halftime. Mike Tomczak replaces Cordell Stewart. He would fare no better. Crushed on the play. Darrell Williams picks him off. Steelers, who didn't turn the ball over the first 2 games, 5 turnovers on Sunday. I mean, this game was out of hand before the Steelers knew what happened. So both homegrown Seahawks and Cowher Steelers are 2-1 on the young season. And I'll tell you what, Tom, we've said it before. This is a season where I think big-time offense is going by the boards. You bring a defense that can score in returns like Seattle and an offense that will come around under Mike Holmgren, and they become a big-time factor.
Well, and you mentioned the turnovers at the end of the highlight package. Give the Seattle defense credit for that. Mike Holmgren, 29 carries for Ricky Waters, so he knows how to keep him happy. Got almost 100 yards, 98 yards. But what would this offense be like if you had Joey Galloway in it? He's playing flag football with his family, and I'm sure he's open.
He's probably going to get open in that flag football game. So the Seahawks and Steelers, 2-1 each. Bring your defense. You can go places. Well, Buffalo brought theirs against Philly. Could the Jets get off the schneid against the Redskins? We'll be back. At the Patriots, once upon a time, before the AFL, and even during the AFL days, New England's NFL team was the New York Football Giants. Well, they were a little harder for the Patriots now, trying to go 3-0 on the young season. Highlights, here's Rich Eisen.
About 4 hours after golf's Patriots won the Ryder Cup in Boston, the New England Patriots hosted the Giants in Foxborough, and the football Patriots know a thing or two about comebacks as well. Having scored 24 unanswered second-half points to shock the Colts last Sunday. As for the Giants, they went in search of a bounce-back, having lost their home opener 50-21 to Washington. A comeback for Jason Sehorn, first game since '97. First quarter, no score, second goal from the Giants from the 6. Touchdown, Kent Graham to LaShawn Johnson. Giants up 7-0. That's your score in the second quarter. 1st and 10 from the 47 for Drew Bledsoe, who finds Terry Glenn open. Nice catch. Terry Allen would take it in from 1 yard out, tied at 7 to the 4th quarter. 16-7 Patriots, 4th and goal for the Giants from the 2. Graham, the Tiki Barber touchdown, so the Giants now down just 2, and it comes down to the onside kick. And that is recovered by Ben Coates of the New England Patriots. So Jim Fossil and the Giants lose a close one this time by the final of 16-14. It's the first time this season where neither team turned the ball over. New England has won its 3 games this season by a combined 7 points in improving to 9-1 in August and September regular season games under Pete Carroll. Now, next Sunday night on ESPN, an AFC West matchup. The Raiders go northwest to play the Seahawks. Oakland at Seattle next Sunday, 8:15 Eastern on ESPN, right after prime time. Back to you, Boomer.
The Buffalo Bills, after a big Sunday night at home by Doug Flutie against the Jets, look for more magic against the Eagles, who hadn't been into Orchard Park in 9 years. Remember 1990? This may have been the play of the decade. It's one of the best we've ever seen. Randall Cunningham in his own end zone to Fred's Barnett. I mean, I knew if we went back long enough, we could find some exciting Eagle offense, Tom. That play was great. At any rate, back to this game. Doug Flutie, pretty exciting himself. Andre Reed joins Jerry Rice and Art Monk as the only men to catch 900 passes. Congratulations, Andre. Congratulations. A great career, still going strong. Second quarter, Doug Peterson sacked Bruce Smith. Phil Hansen recovers. Look at him change hands on the ball.
Yeah, great job of the Buffalo Bills defensive front, causing a little confusion. You're going to see Bruce Smith lined up inside over Doug Brzezinski. He's going to come outside, around, and between Trey Thomas, get to the quarterback, force the fumble from Peterson. And Phil Hansen, nice pickup of the football for a defensive lineman.
Doug Flutie with under 3 minutes to go in the half. You know what happens here. He looks faster than everybody else, Tom. 13 yards for a first down. 2 plays later, his pass-catching tight end is Jay Remersma. And as a tight end, he pass catches a touchdown. 19-0 Bills at the half. A lot of Christie field goals early. But then Buffalo started scoring to the chagrin of Andy Reid. And when they were open, it still didn't work.
Well, Torrance Small, 10 yards, 15 yards behind the Bills secondary, and just can't hold on to the football. Lost sight of it as it got up in the air over him.
And then offsides on Allen Ross, and will negate this pick by Al Harris. He could go all the way, except there's a flag on the play. So third quarter, watch Flutie. Is this deja vu all over again? Watch Flutie get set to make a block on corner Bobby Taylor. Right there, end around to Kevin Williams. It's a first down. That sets up a 4-yard touchdown run by Antoine Smith. The Bills win 26-0. The Eagles 0-17-1 in their last 18 road games, dating back to 1996. Bills ran for 191 yards, Tom.
Yeah, and it's not even about statistics. You talk about Flutie magic. It's about running out of the pockets. It's about throwing the blocks. It's about doing those things that helps his team win.
So the Bills are now 2-1. The New York Football Jets at home against the Redskins, who scored 50 points in the Meadowlands last week. They went to the same locker room. Were there more points in there? Well, Bill Parcells was hoping a week without fans, a little more mentally sharp, but Rick Meyer picked up by Darryl Green. You know what, Tom? I think he's going to be okay this year.
He might be all right in this league.
17 straight seasons. He's got at least one interception, breaking the old mark of 16 by Willie Brown. Darryl Green, all-pro in every sense of the word. Meyer scrambles, completes to Richie Anderson. 21 yards with the Jets down 13-7. They give it to Curtis, my favorite, Martin. Touchdown. Jet. 14-13 New York. 17-13 Jets now. Brad Johnson, Albert Connell, first down. And he worked to Connell against Mickens.
Well, and you look at the room that Mickens gave him on a route where he knew he only needed 7 or 8 yards. He gave him about 15 yards cushion.
Then Johnson to Connell again, flag Mickens.
Well, you're going to watch the pattern as it's run down the sideline. Watch as Mickens going to grab him right there by his left arm. I think the official realized that when he didn't get that arm up for the football.
3+ later, 3rd and 3. Johnson to Connell, goal line, flag again against Mickens. So next play is 1st and goal. Now, Stephen Davis had 3 touchdowns in this building last week. Here's his 2nd touchdown today, 20-17 Redskins. Now it's 3.5 minutes to go. The Jets down, same score. Play action. Meyer. Delaney Pomeroy, but Kennard Lang, who had 3 sacks today, knocks it away. Dan Wilkinson sword blades it. Then Johnson, a hand up to Stephen Davis. 6 touchdowns in this building in 2 weeks, not even their home field. 27-17 Skins. Meyer to Keyshawn Johnson. Touchdown. Hit signal touchdown. Less than 2 minutes. The refs review it, Tom. What do you think?
Well, I certainly don't know how they could have found conclusive evidence to overrule the initial call.
They did. They overruled it. The Jets only got a field goal. They never had a shot. And the Redskins win 27-20. The Skins, 2-0 at the Meadowlands this year. The Giants and Jets at home are 0-3. 6 sacks for the Washington defense, who finally played a good game.
Yeah, Washington defense played well. And Stephen Davis, again, with 93 yards, up around 100 to 3 touchdowns, really solid inside the red zone.
So the Skins are 2-1, and last year's AFC runner-up Jets are 0-3, and they play the Broncos next week when we return. With the Bucs being good hands with Allstott, and with the Packers being good hands with Stray.
And Blanchard's car is handling great as he takes the lead.
Here 0-2. Their mission, should they choose to accept it, go down to probably play, well, statistically the toughest defense in football, the Tampa Bay Bucs, and come away with a win at the new Sombrero. This will be a tough task for the struggling Broncos, especially when Tony Dungy decided to unleash Mike Good Hands with Allstott. Breaks Dale Carter's tackle 28 yards, 7-0 Buccaneers first quarter early. Later in the first, Terrell Davis, 2 yards. This is 2,000-yard back Terrell Davis. Nowhere. Broncos punt. Now, the only thing Tampa has to fear is their offense and special teams fouling things up. And Jaquez Green fumbles, Chris Watson recovers.
That's just a poor job of getting down by Jaquez Green and getting his body in front of the ball, a la a shortstop in baseball.
So a very short field, and Brian Greasy to Easy Ed McCaffrey. Touchdown. We're tied at 7. 4 TD catches already this year for McCaffrey. It's 10-7 Bucs, and Warren Sapp leaves in obvious pain. And look what happened. His old man, John Lynch, come flying in.
Yeah, John Lynch right there. You can see him hit him on the left hand, and Warren Sapp headed for the locker room.
Broke 2 bones in his left hand, but Tommy, they bandaged it, light casted it, and he was back in the third quarter. Look at the plays that he makes to bring down Terrell Davis.
That's the kind of football we like to watch. Warren Sapp spinning off to get a tackle on Terrell Davis.
13-10 Bucs fourth quarter. Mike Allstott bowls over Eric Brown. Look at this. He just drills the new safety. Yikes. Then, interesting strategy. Anytime Trent Dilfer was forced out of the pocket. Do not throw it. Don't throw it. Don't do it.
After some of the interceptions that we saw Trent throw in trying to get rid of the football under pressure, you can see here that Tony Dungy has basically told him, don't try to throw the football away. Take the sack. Let this great defense of ours play their game.
Occasionally, he would swing it to Warwick Dunn, who, by the way, caught 9 balls. Now, out of the pocket. Don't do it. That's right. That's right. Take the sack. It's okay. And so he didn't try to do too much, but no turnovers for Dilfer. With this defense, it made sense. Under 3 minutes to go on 4th and 8, 13-10 Tampa Bay. After conferring with offensive coordinator Gary Kubiak, Greasy, Shannon Sharp, but drilled by Derek Brooks way short of the first down. Tampa tries to run out the clock. Allstott is too good on this play. You're in good hands. Oh, no, you're in bad hands with Allstott. Nate Wayne from the stately Wayne Manor forces the fumble, and the Broncos recover and have a shot. But against this defense, forget it. Chitty, chitty, bang, bang, a Hanatu. Down goes the quarterback. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the best defense in football, have sent the defending champs to their 3rd loss in as many tries. 13-10 Tampa Bay. They held the ball for 37 minutes, Tom. And afterwards, Brian Greasy said, want to blame me? That's fine.
A lot of people are going to question me. The coaches are going to question me. I feel bad. I let them down, let the team down. I don't know whether they have confidence in me. I know the fans are questioning me, but, I don't question myself.
The key today ball club is Terrell Davis. And once he wasn't going, we felt like we had him. Greasy couldn't beat us. And Bobby Bristol wasn't going to beat us either.
TD, 19 carries for 53 yards. Denver, 8 first downs, 173 yards on offense. Let's start with Denver, Tom. Rushing the football and defending the run.
Yeah, I think those are the two things that carry this team offensively, and I don't like to see people blame Brian Greasy. Brian Greasy is a young quarterback just starting his 3rd football game of his career. Don't look to Brian Greasy to carry the football team. As stated by Warren Sapp, Terrell Davis is the engine that makes the offense go. When you don't run the ball and you don't defend the run, you're going to have problems.
How about the strategy that Tony Dungy had with Trent Dilfer? Just don't turn it over. I mean, it's not necessarily the best strategy in the long run, but in the short run, I think it was very smart.
Well, when you have a great defense like they do, and I believe it's a great defense, if you don't turn the ball over and give the other offense the opportunities to score, the extra opportunities to score, I think that this defense will hold up well.
How about this, Tommy? 430 yards, 21 first downs, 1 offensive touchdown allowed by Tampa Bay in 3 games. We go inside the numbers. More on Trent Dilfer, 9 yards of completion. Now, he was, 15 of 18. 9 yards of completion. That's careful, 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 but they got the win.
10 of those completions thrown to the back, 10 out of 15.
When we return, Colts, Bolts at the Murph. And 2-0 Tennessee against 2-0 Jacksonville. Something had to give. Colts, first place West Chargers against up-and-coming Indianapolis. 3-0 Indy in the first. Peyton Manning to Marvin Harrison. I think a recurring theme this year, Tom. That's beautiful. 33 yards, 4 catches for over 100 in the first quarter alone. Now it's 10-7 with the Colts punting. Watch Michael Dumas up the middle. Boom! Darrell Lewis recovers for the touchdown, and the special teams have given the Chargers the lead. Now it's the Aussie, Darren Bennett, punting for San Diego. Kenny Bynum is going to down it at the 2-yard line. And David Binn. Bynum and Binn pin the Colts. And a snap just too low for Peyton Manning. It's a safety. So special team sets up 2 points.
Yeah, Larry Moore, the center here. Watch just as he sees Junior Seau come around to the left side. He looks up, a little bit preoccupied with Junior Seau right there, and causes him to snap the ball away from the quarterback.
So the Colts, who gave away the big lead at New England, now trying to come from behind. 19-13 San Diego. Jerome Pathon, 15 yards, first down. Peyton Manning. Who says he can't move, Tom? Look at him go to the flag. 20-19, the Colts. Now we got under 3 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Same score. Manning to Terrence Wilkins. Tackling. Touchdown. 27-19 Colts. Harbaugh led him into Indianapolis territory late, but he couldn't beat his ex-team, and Indianapolis is 2-1. winning 27-19, 13 for 196 and a touchdown for starving Marvin Harrison, who had a full plate on this day. Indianapolis is coming, folks. 2-0 Tennessee at 2-0 Jacksonville in the rain. Does it rain every home game at Jacksonville? James Stewart, the little man Stewart. Stiff arms, Marcus Robertson. 41-yard gain sets up a field goal. 3-0 Jags. It was raining hard in Jacksonville. I needed one more fair to make, never mind. 7-3 Titans. Eddie George. Fumble. Jags recover, Tom.
Yeah, this is a defender's dream. Look at Aaron Beasley punch that ball out. Didn't look that hard from that angle, but you saw it from the first angle. A nice little punch job by Aaron Beasley.
Boy, Beasley's had a good start to the year, forcing plays. Brunell, Jimmy Smith, bubble, touchdown. 10-7 Jaguars.
Yeah, the ball overthrown there. Jimmy Smith, a great job of concentrating on the football in the rain. Slick ball, makes the catch.
Next possession, Beasley will pick off Neil O'Donnell. Could go all the way. What a great start for Beasley. 35-yard touchdown, 17-7 Jaguars. Brunell picked off, though, by Kenny Holmes, the big fella. Gets Tennessee back in the game at 17-13. 3.5 to go. Neil O'Donnell to Michael Roan. Touchdown. Groan goes the crowd. 20-17. Brunell trying for the win, but summary roll. Picks it off. A late intentional safety. Jeff Fisher and the Titans are 3-0 as Neil O'Donnell, 2 touchdowns, just 1 pick. Despite the fact that Jacksonville did a good job on Eddie George, maybe this is Tennessee's year, Tom.
Well, I think certainly Neil O'Donnell did a good job of guiding the ship, but you said it earlier, bring your defense to the party.
And defense wins it in the rain for Tennessee. When we return, Bears, Raiders, each team trying to go 2-1. And, oh yeah, the Pack and the Vikes. This game was okay. Raiders, Oakland's home opener after 2 impressive road games, split by the Raiders at Minnesota and Green Bay. Glenn Milburn starts in his own end zone. And look at Milburn. Calvin Branch is trying to chase him. I don't think the kicker's going to get him. Can Branch catch him? He just knocks him out of bounds at the 93-yard return for the speedster. Milburn with the Bears down 7-0. The Shane Matthews Band, ants marching. Curtis Conway, touchdown, tied at 7.
Yeah, here, look at Darian Gordon, spot shadowed here. Now watch him. Going to anticipate the throw. Right there, he jumps on the out pattern. Gave quarterback a little lean inside, followed his eyes, and got a pick for his troubles.
13 seconds left in the half, Tom. The Raiders down 10-7. Rich Loose Gannon looking for Ricky Dudley. Touchdown between 3 defenders, and the Raiders lead it at home 14-10 at the half. Bears punt to Darian Gordon. Ty Yellow Ribbon Halleck swipes it loose. Roosevelt Colvin recovers for the Bears. So, Chicago, with Shane Matthews avoiding the blitz. The dump to Curtis Enos. Touchdown, 17-14 Chicago. Here come the Raiders. Gannon under pressure. Pump fakes. Then somehow, how does he get this to Dudley for 6 yards? Dudley does right for 6 yards. Tyrone Wheatley, all of a sudden off the scrap heap. He's a new player. And the wheat has grown high. The Raiders beat the Bears 24-17. Wheatley just 8 carries for 41, but the big touchdown, 9 for 121 receiving for Timmy Brown. Game of the day. Vikings, the Packers. Last year, the 25-game win streak at Lambeau snapped by Randy Moss and Minnesota. Randall Cunningham is stopped emphatically on 3rd down. But wait a minute. Flags on the play because Darren Sharper doing some stomping, Tom. Unnecessary rough.
Yeah, and Stussy saw this. He comes over. He challenges Kuntz. Kuntz challenges him back. You know, you hate to see the Vikes get another opportunity off that call.
Well, they did. It would have been a field goal, but instead, Leroy Horde touchdown, 7-0 Minnesota. Dorsey Levens, he's in the end zone. Wait a minute. We're going to start throwing flags at Lambeau Field against the Packers? No, it's holding on Frank Witters. Ray Rhodes sees his team settle for a field goal, 7-3. Cunningham picked off by the #1 draft pick, Antoine Edwards from Clemson. Clemson to Edwards, touchdown, 10-7 Packers. We're tied at 10 at the half. Third quarter. Cunningham to Randy Moss. Touchdown. Wait a minute. Say Moss was juggling the ball. No touchdown. Field goal Vikes. 13-10. It's now 16-13 Green Bay. 2 minutes left in the game. Cunningham to Moss. They've done it again. Cunningham and Moss have ruined the Packers again. 20-16. Or have they? The Pack, Tom, the fastest gun in the West. Or maybe the Central. Brett Favre. To Corey Bradford, 22 yards. Next play, Favre in trouble. Avoids the sack. Dump to Levens. Is Dorsey running hard or what? 45-yard line. After a timeout, Favre, Levens to the 33. Stopping the clock. Favre, Levens. 4 more yards to the 23. Clock tick, 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 tick. Ray Rhodes, 4th down. A 3rd and 4. It's Corey Bradford beating Jimmy Hitchcock. 24-yard touchdown. Rather than spike it, Brett Favre says, all go into the end zone. Favre is wild. What a finish. Packers 23, Vikings 20. And the Green Bay Packers, Brett Favre was exhausted. Just like we are doing these highlights. I got no voice. How would he feel? It was a major, major step up for the Packers. And Favre was 6 for 7 on the drive. A drive that included the dumps to Levens, 304 yards passing for Favre. The Minnesota offense is not what it was, but this was an old-fashioned slugfest. And Favre, who did not have a good first half, came on big time in the second half.
Boom, I think Minnesota's offense has reason to be encouraged. They got a better running game from Robert Smith today, better support for Randall Cunningham. I think he got more comfortable in the pocket. But when you talk about the Packers in that draft, the Randy Moss draft, they called it, we're going to draft the corners to try to get some coverage skills in the background. I think it all came together today. The 2 receptions from Randy Moss, you wouldn't believe that going into a game. And Brett Favre is Brett Favre.
And what's interesting is both teams, Minnesota and Green Bay, play Tampa Bay the next 2 weeks. The Tampa Bay-Green Bay game, the Bay of Pigs, is an ESPN game, Week 5, here on a Sunday night. Game balls coming up. We got a lot of candidates. Tommy and I really had to think about these. We'll be back.
Collect. Log on to ESPN.com to vote for your primetime player.
Starvin Marvin Harrison of the Colts. 13 catches, 196 yards, and that touchdown gives him 28 catches, 422 yards, and 6 TDs in just 3 games. He's only just begun, Tom.
Boomer, my game ball goes to former Colt Marshall Faulk, now with the Rams. You see the numbers there, rushing 105, receiving 67, the same thing he did for the Colts, he's now doing for the Rams.
Don't forget to join Tom and Sterling and Mike and the gang Monday Night Countdown. Monday here at ESPN at 7 Eastern Time. We get you set for San Francisco at Arizona. Tommy, Brett Favre. Wow. How does he kill?
Just enough support from the defense and running from the offense to allow him to have a chance to win the game at the end, and he does it.
He is the most exciting we have seen in a long time. Again, for Tom Jackson, Chris, thanks for watching Primetime.
NFL Primetime.
The Cardinals. 30 seconds left in the half. Young, rush, throws incomplete. He got baptized. Down to the field, eyes closed, maybe out cold. Take another look. Young drilled by Aeneas Williams. His head collides with Dave Fiore on the way down. Fiore, another Hofstra guy. Young told his trainers, let me up, let me up, let me up. Walked off the field, but he was out of the game with yet another concussion. He's had a lot of them. Third quarter, Plummer tries to rally. He has 10 career fourth quarter comebacks. This is why they call him the Snake. Down to the 1 to set up a Mario Bates touchdown. Cardinals cut the lead to 17-7. Young's like, Coach, come on, put me back in. Mariucci said, no way. Fourth quarter, Adrian Morrell, please. Stuffed by Marvin Washington. Morrell, 3 straight 1,000-yard rushing seasons. A 6-yard loss there. Next play, Plummer. Brum rush by Bryant Young. Plummer also 2 picks in the game. He's thrown 9 in 3 games already this year. 151 left, Lawrence Phillips. You can bust it, you can groove it, say you way. 68 yards for the touchdown. LP, 102 yards rushing for the game. Niners, 210 yards as a team. Mariucci, all geeked up. 49ers win it 24-10. They won their 9th straight Monday night game. That's 5 short of Oakland's all-time record. Steve Mariucci now a perfect 7-0 under the Monday night lights. So San Fran improves to 2-1 in the season. But after the game, the talk was less about the win and more about Steve Young's head.
I got a flash shot to the back of the head and felt very fine afterwards, and now we'll just, I'll go talk to him tomorrow. The best thing that happened was we won the game. Great running performance by Charlie, and in the end by Lawrence.
My confidence
we'd have to be 0-3, and I'd have to have about 40 picks for my confidence to be shot right now, because this is a tough game. It's not an easy job. It's not something you go out. You can't learn it by reading it in a book. You can't learn it. You got to learn it by being out there and making some mistakes and learning on the run, and that's what I'm doing.
The 49ers have been rushing it and crushing it on the ground. They've compiled more rushing yards on Monday night than they had in their first 2 games combined. And remember, San Fran led the NFL last year with 159 yards rushing per game. Lawrence Phillips became the 2nd running back this season to rush for 100 yards in a game on fewer than 10 carries. LP had his 102 on 9 carries. Sal Palantonio and Melissa Stark will have more of this game later on in SportsCenter.
We have a communication breakdown between the Seahawks and their holdout receiver.